Good morning. Alrighty. Good morning, John. Good morning. One moment, just got to get a few more things set up here, then I'm good to go. It's good. Oh, wow. Look what happened with CJ yesterday. Wow. So this one actually looks like we had some kind of dilution or something. So this just ended up completely collapsing. Yep, offering 130. Looks about right. Good morning, Flip Flop. It kind of sucks too, because CJ was actually holding up pretty well. Right, it was holding its gains here very clearly. Unfortunate. Yeah, AEHL is the only stock I see at the moment moving, but the news isn't live. There's just this random spike right at 7. Good morning, John, the other John. We have multiple Johns. Yeah, I'm not so sure how I'd like this setup, just because the lack of immediate news is kind of detracting from it a little for me. KSS had a big spike, but it doesn't have volume backing it up. So that's kind of ruining it for me. This volume isn't super significant. It's also an earnings call. What is the float on this? Just curious. This looks a little slow. Yeah, 112 million. That's why. Makes sense. Yeah, the float's a bit high on this one. Yeah, the AEHL spike. Also, I'm not super interested in it. It was very nice that it was able to move from 310 to 345. That's like a 35-cent move. It's solid. I just don't know how much conviction I have with it. Also, I didn't mention this, but actual gappers we have today, we don't have anything like, if we're excluding AEHL that spiked here, we have like a 20% gapper. So, not great opportunity. Yeah, we lucked out a bit yesterday. We didn't have many moves yesterday, but the ones that did move, 2 of them I thought gave good opportunity. And if we're being honest, even that third one that was the penny stock, It did give you an opportunity to. I just didn't like the float or the price. But yeah, not looking like as strong of a start today, and just gonna have to wait, see if we get anything. I see we got some people coming in here. If you could do me a favor and hit the like button, try and get this out to more people, I would appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully we get more actual stocks coming in here in the next half hour. Good morning, Football Master. Good morning, good morning. Well, I would say, yeah, actually, just saying morning is probably more accurate, actually. It's not very good this morning. Right, we really have AEHL to pick from, and we got KSS. KSS is a much higher float, lower volume, more of like just an earnings catalyst. And AEHL, it may have had news like yesterday. Like, no, this is just a gap thing. This isn't even news. See, there's just no news for this one. Looks like it was a short squeeze on the daily. Right, just oversold. Just a squeeze. But yeah, no news behind it. So yeah, I feel like both of these setups aren't really worth investing with or engaging with. At least in my opinion. See, we hit 5 likes. Thank you guys for that. I appreciate it. This had a very nice move during the market hours. What did this move from? 120 to, we'll say like 240, 250. See, this did a 100% move during market hours. And then after hours, it actually went up a little more. Be a very impressive move during the daytime, right? And it was only a 5 million share. 5 million share outstanding. All right, and I guess we'll just watch this one because there's nothing really else to even watch at the moment. Good morning, Captain. Gap scanner is terrible. Completely agree. Good news is once something pops up, it will have all the attention. I think you might be partially right on that. So stocks weren't holding up well yesterday. The only one that really held up that was in play was CJet, and it ended up getting a secondary offering. But at least the initial pop, the very front side of the move, I would agree with you, has a higher chance because CJet, Aton, and whatever the third one was, it wasn't Gels, it was the other $1 stock. Those three all had nice resolutions at the start. So I would anticipate if we see a stock with news popping up, there's a moderate chance that we see follow through. But yeah, this morning's gap scanner, I mean, if we're excluding AEHL, biggest gapper is 21%. Like, that's nothing. At least for mine. My scanners are a little more picky because I have stricter criteria. Yeah, I guess we're waiting for the half hour because there's just nothing. And like we had this stock spike, and anybody who's trying to buy for a breakout here, I mean, they could have made like 12 cents, but they would have had to have sold immediately. Like this doesn't look very powerful, right? It just kind of did one leg, failed the second, and rolled over. It's always interesting to me when we just get these random spikes at 7 a.m. for no reason. Like, there's no news to it. Nothing. You just see a random spike, and then it just rolls over in the next, like, 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, KSS had earnings. I saw it. I didn't touch it. Just because the float is extremely high, right? We've got over 100 million shares outstanding. And it's moving on lighter volume, too. Might not... It might seem like a decent bit of volume, but... I mean, realistically, only 50,000 for this. It's okay, but like a lot of these candles are just under 10,000. And for the float to be so high and the volume to be relatively low, it's not that appealing to me. You're likely gonna just see this thing kind of churn and slowly move a direction. At least that's my interpretation. But yeah, I did see that. I called it out earlier, but yeah, I didn't really think there was much to it. That's crazy. We're 15 minutes in and we've already got 19 people here. Appreciate you guys all showing up. I know these markets can be very cold, very dry. We've been in this for a while. We're all hoping for that day that we see it heat up. It'll come back. But we're all here in the trenches, grinding it out. Also, we're at 10 likes, which is awesome. So thank you all very much for that. Holiday week, just saying. Thanksgiving USA. Well, I mean, wasn't Thanksgiving last week? Like Thursday, Friday? If anything, I would argue that maybe last week was more valid for it to be slower. I mean, maybe you have people that are just coming off of Thanksgiving, but I genuinely just think it's because it's been slow. I mean, maybe that's why it was more slow last week, but this week I just think it's slow. Straight up. Hello there. I see your audience and subscriber count has grown over the past few days. It's great to see. So it's actually really fascinating to me how we've grown. So there's this interesting pattern where we're seeing it grow incrementally over the week. So Monday is always the slowest day. Friday's surprisingly always the hottest day in relative to people seeing the stream. Now, I don't know if that's just YouTube promoting harder because I'm being consistent. And then I take the 2 days off, so YouTube kind of punishes me. But for whatever reason, Monday is always the slowest day. And then we slowly build higher each day towards Friday. And because we're getting subscribers every day, that number is kind of ticking up each week. So like week 1, I was maxing out at like 7 viewers concurrent. And then it like went up to like 11, and then 15, and then 20, then 25. You provide great content with level 2 and time and sales. I mean, I like to say I give good analysis, and I try to do what I think would be educational or not just educational, but correct for like my mentality of trading. I think there can be value extracted from that. Part of me, like, there's this devil's advocate part of me that says you're not doing a great job. You're barely trading. You only traded 2 times yesterday. Compared to when it's a hot market, I might trade 15 plus times. So I almost like, when I see that I have 25 viewers, 30 viewers watching me, and I take 2 trades, part of me feels bad. Because I'm like, man, I'm just not giving good content. I mean, I know deep down it's really the fact that I'm being disciplined and not trading despite the pressure of an audience. I feel like that's actually really beneficial, but sometimes I like kind of trick myself into thinking that I'm not giving value. Your channel will explode when the market heats up. Yeah, that's what I hope. Because, and I'm just going to be blunt here, no matter how good my discipline is or my strategy, the reality is, if I'm not taking trades and I'm not making money, a lot of people just don't care. And that's fine. I understand people are here to make money. If they see I'm not making money, a lot of people just won't care. I mean, that's the more veteran and experienced traders will recognize the discipline in the cold market, and they appreciate that. And I think a lot of you here are actually a lot more veteran, experienced traders just based off of that. But yeah, the reality is, until I actually get back to where I was making triple digit gains, the reality is I'm just going to have stunted growth, I think. The fact you can look back on your level 2 on your videos is a huge plus, and you can only show what is available. We trade markets, not force them. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it sucks, like AEHL, like when we pulled this up this morning and I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, we're seeing some nice action here, but there's no news. And this is kind of a continuation from yesterday's move. This just doesn't feel that good to trade. And then KSS is just, okay, it's just earnings and it's low volume, high float, not really interested. You're building a base of some good viewers. We are the diehard guys. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you guys are here in the trenches with me. We got 20 viewers. And yeah, it's a cold day, but you guys are all here sticking it out. I appreciate all of you being here. And I respect that you guys are into the grind just as much as I am. I've showed up every single day, and regardless of temperature. Yeah, who is trading without level 2? Just saying. Yeah, no, out of everything, like, I've given up a lot of, because I used to use a lot of indicators, right? Like the moving averages, VWAP, MACD, you know, all the stuff. And to me, it's just level 2, time and sales, the chart, and the volume. Those are the big ones for me. Those are the most immediate connection I have to seeing sentiment. And that's what I get the most value from. We hear every day, tough times build strong traders. Yep. And I suppose, like, in some ways too, this is good, because imagine if I started in a hot market and had to go to a cold, and maybe people that don't understand are like, oh, well, you're making less money now, or like, you're just not trading anymore. Like, this is kind of the opposite, where we're going from cold to hot. So you're going to see what looks like exponential growth, right? When we go to a hot market, if I'm having $100 plus winning days, then it's going to look like I grew as a trader. I mean, maybe to a beginner at least. Do you think Vadim has stopped trading completely, or is he doing a break? He didn't upload for the last 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure he's done. He could come back, but you got to understand his history. He started trading in the midst of a hot market. He was uploading it, and he was under massive pressure. There's a good psychological tell too. If you looked at his early, like his first month, he was very proactive with the community. He was he was profitable. He was very engaging. He had his first big capitulation where he lost like 50% of his account or something in a day. Then he was trying to force himself to trade less, to hold less long. He couldn't do it. And he was stopped engaging with the community. He would occasionally give hearts to people who gave support, but he wouldn't engage with critique or feedback. Then he had a second big, like 70% loss. Then he was having 10% loss days back to back. Like that kind of damage to an account is just 70% loss is like borderline unrecoverable. And no, he just was out of money. The account had like $300 or something in it. And then I think he was just mentally defeated. It's a very sad but very common trend with beginner traders. And I think because he was like putting it out there for everyone to see, that was just making those feelings stronger. Yeah, I've actually been working. I haven't really said anything about this, but this week, I've actually been talking with some other traders here on YouTube, and we're going to do some kind of collaborative discussions about the market, and we're going to go over some of our trades and whatnot. So look forward to that this week, because I have a couple people that I'm looking at, and we've already talked. So, a little spoiler on that one. Yeah, it's sad. Hopefully he comes back. He might. I mean, it depends. It depends, right? It's very hard to say. Most traders quit within a year. And that's part of why I don't want to sell anything or sell any product, because I know the turnover and failure rate is so high. This isn't like a job like plumbing or electrician where you can teach someone it and then they can go do it. My fear is that if I try to sell a course saying, hey, I can teach you this, you give me your money, you're hopeful, and then you lose money. So like I basically just had you pay me so you could lose money. Like, to me, that makes me feel terrible. That's not me dissing people that do that, by the way. Like, people who sell courses, I don't necessarily dislike, as long as you're being truthful. Right? If you're like lying and saying, "Oh, I'm super profitable. Like, look at all my Lamborghinis and buy my course," and you just teach them about trend lines, like that's those kind of people I dislike. He's saying, well, that's the problem. No, he definitely wasn't following his rules, but like he was trying. You could tell he was trying, right? He was trying to document it. He wasn't in it for like the YouTube money or anything, because he would have kept uploading. And because he was taking notes, like he was actively trying to critique himself, and he was like, okay, I need to trade less. I need to hold less long. He was actively doing this, but he could not get himself to commit to those changes. For whatever reason, and there's probably something that was going on in his life that was psychologically messing with him. But yeah, he could not get himself to make that change, even though he was trying. And I recognize that, and I did respect that a lot. But unfortunately, he couldn't follow through with the changes. And it's not easy to. Something that will probably happen with me, and this is something I've thought about very extensively, is I'm very conditioned right now to not take risk because the market's been so cold. And a key thing that you guys should watch from me, and you can call me out on this, is when the market heats back up, it's going to be difficult for me to correct myself and pull out of this conditioning, right? Because we've been in this cold market for 5+ weeks. And if we start seeing the market heat up where things are moving 50%, 75%, there's a good chance, at least initially, I'm going to be cutting winners very early and still having very small winners. And that's an adaptation that needs to happen over time. But the question is, can I do it fast enough? And also, do I make sure I don't overreact too, right? If the market heats up, do I overreact? Because I did that like 3 weeks ago. We had GLTO and MOVE, and I overreacted to that. Yeah, we're about to hit the half hour. We'll see if we get anything coming out here. Very interesting that a lot of you guys know Vadim. So, I mean, I guess because me and Vadim, we're both trading small caps, we're both smaller accounts, so I guess we have some overlap there. I'm curious if you guys will know the other people that I've been talking to or not. So we do have a little bit of a volume spike here. AEHL. Good morning. I've been watching since 6:30 EST and nothing good so far. I've been watching from 7 and I would agree with you. I mean, AEHL and KSS were the only things or was it KKS? I can't remember, but both of them not really great. Yep, no trades for me so far. Hopefully 7:30 gives us something. I recognized this yesterday. Well, let me. I'll wait. I'll wait. We could be having news coming out here. I shouldn't talk about that yet. Focus on the scanners. Not sure if you still watch Relentless Trader. I do. But yesterday he decided only to share his P&L with his paid students. He no longer shows P&L to YouTube viewers. Sad, but it's because he's struggling. Really? He stopped showing it? I mean, I haven't watched him like recent, like within the last few days, but I've been watching him like once or twice a week. So he stopped sharing it. I don't know if I really like that. Like, to me, it's all about transparency and accountability. And to me, there's nothing, if you're like slightly red or you're just not making money, because like, I'll be honest, it's not super good for my ego whenever I show you guys that I traded and like I made like $5 or I lost $1. Like, to me, it's just, it doesn't look impressive and there's nothing really egomaniac about it. Same thing with like a max loss, but I still feel like, at least for accountability and being transparent, so you guys, because like the biggest thing is that you guys actually, I don't want to say trust, because like there's always smoke and mirrors you can pull, but I want to at least give you guys the opportunity to say, okay, this guy looks like he's trying to be genuine. Because I've seen like the what was that one guy called? It was like the Smart Money Concepts guy. I can't remember what it was, but he was like faking his P&L statements. Right, he had like an account that he ended up blowing 97% of the account, and he was like, "Oh, this was just a joke, like it was just for fun or something." Absolutely ridiculous. Relentless Trader is wrong for that. You're selling a $2,000 course, but won't show P&L. Unacceptable. Very true. ICT, yeah, that was his name. ICT Trader. Yep. It's sad how I can just mention what he does and you guys just know. No, but there's a lot of people like that. And there's another guy, I don't remember his name, but there was this very, very big YouTuber. He has like 1 million subscribers. And he was also selling a course, and it turns out he was also faking stuff. So, yeah, it's... By the way, I'm not calling Relentless Trader a fake. I don't think he's a fake. I think he's one of the few actually very good traders on YouTube. But no, him taking his P&L private feels very... I mean, I don't want to judge him too hard, but it feels very ego-based. Like, to me, if you're trying to actually engage with potential customers, you want to be transparent. And the way, by hiding your P&L when you're having a cold stretch, to me, that just says that he has like a problem with his ego. And I could be wrong, right? I don't want to spread beef. Like, maybe there's another reason. That would just be my like surface level thought. Because like I can't even after thinking about it, I don't know why there would be a good reason to hide your P&L. I can't think of a good reason. Stay away from those Miami dudes. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, we got 30 concurrent viewers. It's crazy. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Unfortunately, there's just nothing moving at 7:30 too. Yeah, I mean, we've got 6 minutes now, and like I've seen nothing pop up on the scanners. But yeah, just want to end by saying I have huge respect for Relentless Trader. I think he tries very, very hard with what he does, right? He's worked to make a course. He streams basically every day. Massive respect for the dude. I just think that this one thing he's done seems to be a more internal issue than an external one. I think that's all I'll say on that. But yeah, as far as actual traders who stream, like I'll be honest, I don't really see any good ones. Like you have Warrior Trading and Relentless Trader. To me, those are the two day traders who trade small caps, our niche, and that's it. I don't see anyone else sizable that does it. I mean, makes good opportunity for me because not a lot of competition. But it's kind of sad. Like, this is like for the US market, small cap stocks, and there's not a lot of people that stream it. It's kind of surprising to me, to be honest. Mighty Stocks. Is that someone? I've never heard of them. Let me look them up here. I mean, I'm not seeing them on YouTube, assuming that that was like a channel. Yeah, I didn't see them. There used to be Trading Farmer. He was quite awesome. Yeah, quit as soon as the market gets cold. As soon as the market got cold. Did he like quit or take a break? Because I've heard someone else also talk about the Trading Farmer. I forgot about him. I haven't watched him, but I heard someone else talk about him. Mighty Stock's name is Marcelo. Oh, is that's the Relentless Trading Partner guy, right? Same guy or no? Different Marcelo? Seems like Mighty Stocks removed him from YouTube page. Okay. Yeah, same guy. Okay, yeah. One thing to be curious about too is like right now we're in a cold market, so a lot of people are either just not making money or they don't feel that it's worth streaming. Because if you're trying to capture an audience and grow quickly, the best time to do it would be during a hot market, right? You get more profits, you can flaunt more. I hope on hot trades after yours end. But he doesn't take live positions, just sort of calls out movers. Yeah, something I might need to switch soon. I'm thinking about doing this. And I hate to think about it, because like I said, transparency is critical for me. But my worry is about people copy trading. Now, obviously, I have the disclaimers. But I still worry at the end of the day that people might still try and copy my trades. Actually, we actually have a mover here, so I'll pause that talk. Let me look at this. DGLY, we have something. So we have volume, but no news. Okay, look at the daily on this thing. This is a very beaten up stock. Mm. So Thinkorswim is saying this has a little under 2 million shares outstanding. So pretty low float. Pretty decent volume. I'm just really worried that this could be a trap, though. The lack of catalyst is concerning. Right, this does meet some pillars, right? Beaten up daily chart, high volume, high relative volume, very low float. If this had a catalyst, I would be on board for this, but I'm on the fence because of the catalyst being missing. Good morning, Gabino. Good morning. Maybe a dead cat bounce on this. So, biggest volume candle was a red candle here. I was debating buying this pullback, but we're having too much volume in this, making me a bit hesitant because we're not even halfway through the candle yet. Yeah, if this pullback was on lower volume, I think I might have taken a trade here. But like the volume's too high. Like this could just be straight up selling pressure. This volume's quite high. I don't think this looks safe to get in. AEHL is selling off pretty hard, looks like. So that didn't end up holding up. All these volume candles are actually very similar in size. I mean, it hasn't immediately rolled over, right? We've had a little bit of consolidation here. I still don't know if I trust it, though. So you had the fake 1 minute high here. This was a fake out. You've had a second 1 minute high here that also looks like a fake out. All right, LANI, or LNAI is moving. I'll go ahead and swap to that in a moment. Just looking at this a few more seconds. Yeah, I'll keep DGLY on the side. But I'm going to switch over to LANAI. It's a weird spelling there. Okay, so we at least have news on this one. Good volume. Shares outstanding a little bit higher. We're looking at around 20 million or so. So not the greatest there. Decent volume. We do have a catalyst. Daily. So newer stock, actually. Highs around 160. So we're pushing for the highs right now. So blue sky if we get above 160s. Very high volume on this break. Very high volume. I'm going to go in half size here. I might add if we can hold. Yeah, it's looking a little indecisive right now. I was really hoping for this clean break of all-time high, and then we just run. It's struggling a bit more than I would have liked. I might just keep half size. Continuing to see very high volume. This 160 is a much bigger resistance than I was expecting. I really thought we were going to just break and run. Had a lot of small topping tails, and we were making a small incremental high each time. Wasn't ever pulling away. A lot of fake outs with bulls getting trapped here. This is another 1 minute high that immediately reversed. I mean, the potential for all-time highs, though, that is a strong signal, too. I'm just really surprised 160 is fighting this hard. Alright, I'm out there. Captured a little bit of that, at least. Unfortunately, it was only half size, because of how much this was struggling back here. Where did I buy? 749. Yeah, so I bought here because I saw we were breaking for all-time highs, and we had to pull back on lighter volume. I thought the odds we would curl would be high, and we would just squeeze. So I added half, and was planning to add the second half for that break. We were holding, but we weren't seeing that follow through. Yeah, this feels very unsafe. And I was saying that just because we were having all these topping tails. Man, what a flush, though. 1 million. I just had this feeling nagging at me that this thing had the potential to do this. This is what I was worried about, but I thought it was actually not even going to get this spike. I was actually thinking we might just flush immediately. Honestly, even though I made a little bit of profit, I don't know. This one was a little bit more unclear if I should have taken this trade. I'm glad I only did half size. But the higher float, one of you pointed it out, the higher float was a bit of a deterrent. I definitely agree with that. I just think the catalyst plus high volume plus all-time high setup looked pretty decent to me. But then whenever we saw all these topping tails pushing just slightly higher each time, it really felt like there was someone selling hard. Like it was getting eaten up. I definitely see that. That's why I was holding. But there were warning signs that this flush could have happened. Yes, we were at resistance, correct, right? 160 was resistance, but it was all-time high resistance. And we were right at it. We had just broken it with 164, and we were having a pullback on lighter volume. To me, this was a signal that we were going to hold and just break away. Signal didn't work out, so I was wrong. Still able to get a little bit of profit, though, because this did hold up near the highs. I have mixed feelings about this trade. I'm gonna give it a B minus, actually. Well, no, B minus is too negative. Just go with B. I was going to sell at 172. That's what my order was for. But when I saw it hit 170 and it was struggling, I just canceled it and just hit the bid because figure it's close enough. Looks like we're struggling at 170. Just take the profit. Come on, 8 a.m. news, come to me. Yeah, we'll see if we get any. We're about to hit that 8 a.m. mark. We'll see if news comes out. Normal size is 100 shares. I have it actually configured. I can show you here. At least I believe I do. Yeah, so I have it set to 201 for max size. So I physically cannot place an order over 200. So if I do like 202 shares and I try to buy, the order will not go through because it's over 200. So yeah, normal size is 100 for this account. And I can go to double size if I feel it's justified. And then I have hotkeys for half size if I want to do half size. But yes, correct. 100 shares as well. Well, it's the normal size. At least we're on the board. Got something to look at least. 20 likes. You guys are actually insane. Thank you. I think this is the most likes we've ever had on a stream. That's actually insanely high likes. Thank you guys very much for that. Interesting how this thing's actually curling here. I didn't expect this kind of curl. I thought we were just going to sell off after this. Is this thing really not dead? I actually gave up on it. Once I saw this, I was just like, yeah, this is done. Is this really not dead? RELI is moving. It's a bit cheaper, but it is going straight up. Okay, consolidates digital asset treasury into Zcash. Okay, I don't really know if that means anything. Kind of surprised this is just going straight up on that news. So we went straight to $1, and we didn't even like test $1. We just went straight through it. I'm like half afraid to touch this because it just went straight up. I mean, maybe them moving their assets into Zcash is like some sort of way to take the money out to use it. Maybe that's the idea. I'm not super informed with like the digital asset stuff, so I can't say for sure. Kind of crazy this thing's moving this much on that news though. So like 40% up. I mean, maybe it's just the case I don't understand this catalyst, if it actually implies something. I don't know, just the cheaper stock and the catalyst not being super clear to me. It's making me not really want to touch this. I am very impressed though with this rally, and not just a rally, but an immediate break over one. Right? It didn't even, the volume was so high, it just completely overtook one immediately. So that's definitely impressive. I don't know. The lower price, unclear catalyst. It's throwing me off. I hate sub $1. Me too. I don't like to trade them. It's one of the few metrics I have. Well, I say few. It's one of the metrics I have where I'm unprofitable. Like historically, when I trade sub $1 stocks, I lose money. That's a historical trend for me over the last 2 years. It's not to say I won't try. Because like if the setup looks good, to me, it's like you should always try to test yourself, test your boundaries and evolve. But like I'm definitely more selective when it comes to penny stocks, just because I know it's an uphill climb. And again, commissions, right? Because I'm paying commissions. If I'm trading something that's only moving 5 cents, then I basically have to get the timing right. LNAI is actually still curling, right? We're back near all-time highs right now. I'm not sure how much I want to be involved with it after that fake out, but it's at least worth pointing out that it is retesting. Right, like it's come back. Very interesting how we just have this massive rug and then it just curls back. We're going to see rug pull number 2 or back to all-time highs. I don't know. I'm a bit more iffy to get involved with this a second time. DGLY did completely roll over. It's given back everything. Just a quick shout out for those of you that are new to the stream. If you like what you see here, maybe consider subscribing. I do stream every day from 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. EST. Quick plug while I see we have high viewer count. But yeah, I don't know. Like, if this gets back to all-time highs and we see good volume, I might be willing to try it again. I don't think I want to try it here, though. I really want something strong if I'm going to get back involved. Yeah, for those new here, hit the like button. I mean, I'm almost like, I don't know. I debate how often I should do shout outs or call outs like that. I mean, I already asked for likes earlier. I'm afraid to take a trade on any of this crap, go red, and then I can't recover. One nice thing about my situation, right, is I've got this very small cushion now. So now if I do try it again, I at least know that I have a little bit of breathing room. Not a lot, but a little bit of breathing room. But you are right, like LNAI, this had a lot going for it, but the higher float is detracting from it. We had RELI. I mean, it's a penny stock. News Catalyst isn't super clean on that one. So, like, yeah, these setups aren't the greatest. Like, we haven't seen anything very powerful today. Like, yesterday we had some higher quality. I mean, even my setup, right? I rated my setup as a B quality. It wasn't a great trade. It was just a good trade. And the lack of follow through immediately, combined with the higher float, is why I detracted from my rating. And you're right, like this, we haven't seen anything that I've seen that looks exceptional, and I agree with you there. And this thing, I don't know, maybe it's, man, that's so sad. Imagine if you're someone who's just buying for this re-break of the high and then it just rolls over. Like, you got rugged once and then rugged twice. I'm sure there's probably some people that's happened to. I feel for them. Hmm. We still got two more releases. We've got the 8:30 and we've got the 9. So there's still a chance. Although I'll be honest, that hope of a good mover is very quickly fading. RELI seems like it's still struggling around the 9 or the 1 to 90 cent range. All right, just to hop between the two. It's really struggling to hold this 1. Kind of glad I didn't get involved with this. I'm glad I'm not the only one who's scared to get involved, though. I'm just not seeing anything that gives me high conviction. No A quality setups to be seen. The unfortunate thing, too, about taking so little trades is that a lot of times you're just going to be red and there's nothing you can do, right? If you take 2 trades and you're red on one of them, the odds that you're going to be red on the day are pretty high, right? This $6 cushion, it's nice, but like if I take a red loss, I'm probably red on the day. This is like a small winner. So, like, I'm going into this knowing if I take another trade, if I'm wrong, I'm just going to be red on the day, probably. But you can't think like that. The only thing you should be thinking, in my opinion, is just take the best setup you can. Don't worry about the outcome. If I'm red on the day, it was meant to be. But yeah, we really aren't having anything. We really aren't having any good catalysts. Little poll just to keep the time going. No, immediate 100% no. Love that. Mm. You've been on the phone with my niece, helping her buy her first car. Oh, nice. I'm back, focused now. But it doesn't look like I missed anything. No trades today yet. Hey, you're falling behind, man. I'm up a whole $6. I'm blowing you out of the water right now. Yeah, no, it's a slow day. So far. So it looks like we have one optimistic person so far. I respect it. There's definitely a possibility. Hard work pays, yeah. Maybe it's counter to what you guys all think, but I don't know, just like intuitively, I feel like there's gotta at least be some attempt of a good move. Like, it feels like everything we've seen so far today has been just really, really poor quality. Right? Like 30% or less movers. Like, if we get anything on the scanner at 839, I really just feel like people are going to pile in it. Maybe I'm just overly optimistic. I just feel like we're going to see something that comes up and it's going to have good resolution. Like, I would say there's like maybe a 50-50 chance of at least one stock that has some good news and follows through. Maybe I'm a bit detached. Well, and you got to think too, like everyone's been very patient today. Right? There's been nothing to jump on. So like if you see anything that's moving with volume and has good news, I just feel like people would jump on it. Well, I mean, on the flip side though, we did have this rug on LNAI. And this was like probably the next best stock to trade. Though the main detriment was just the higher shares outstanding. But considering there was a rug here, maybe that'll make people less willing to try and hold. Yeah, I give it like a 40% chance. RUBI, Tops 2.0. I remember Tops. That was a good one back in the day. I mean, this is a penny stock, so I'm not super interested. LNAI looks like it might be curling again here. Definitely keeping an eye on it. If we return to all-time high on high volume, I genuinely will be interested. Right? We're at all-time highs, so like if we return there, I will consider a trade. But it's got to get there, and it's got to get there with high volume. RELI looks like it's just dead. So whatever this hype was that just pushed it straight up, there was no really clean 1 minute pullback to buy here. This is the 15-second, but like even on the 15-second, there's not really a clean pullback. Like this was the actual only pullback. You could have maybe made a little bit on this, but what's that? That's like, you could have made like 6 cents. It's not really that promising or inspiring. But yeah, 4 minutes till the half hour, and we'll see if we get anything. Those no votes are looking pretty nice. Nice. LNAI, it's still creeping. I'll be honest, even though this rugged and I thought it was dead, this stock is still holding 50% above the gap. Right? It gapped up and we're still holding. Definitely going to keep this one on watch for the rest of the day. All right. It's actually surprising how close you guys were to mine. So I was saying there was around a 40% chance we were going to see a good move. And right around 36% of you said yes. VCIG. You're right. Seeing a little bit of a reaction in volume, but no price action. So the issue I have with VCIG is, especially recently, within the last month or two, any spikes have been met with brutal sell-off. So I'm not very trusting of this stock. Yeah, VCIG is notoriously... I didn't even read your comment, and I said exactly what you said. VCIG is notoriously bad. I hate the stocks. LOL. Yeah, worth noting, just for historical context, VCIG used to be a really good stock trade. I remember around, like, what was it, like 3 to 6 months ago, VCIG was a really good stock, and when you would buy it, it had great resolution, and I made a lot of money on it. But in the last 1 to 2 months, it has been notoriously bad for selling off. Yes. The company has been very aggressive with dilution, a lot of shorting. Yeah, it's not been very good recently. Even if this ends up resolving, I mean, if it doesn't move, I might be interested, but it's got to do something very impressive for me to be interested. But yeah, we're at the half hour, so we'll see if we get any other news coming. We got PASW moving, but it is a penny stock. No news on it either. Yeah, penny stock, no news. Recent IPO / merger though, because this is the entire context. So this company is from October 1st, and it's just gone straight down. So it could be just a sudden spike since it's been oversold so much. That's a possibility. Interesting, this move seems to have happened right at 8:30. Yeah, red flag 2 here is on this gap up, we had non-existent volume. Right? No catalyst combined with non-existent volume, followed by the pump. Looks like a pump and dump. I wouldn't be surprised if this comes all the way back down. Highest volume candle was the red candle as well. Okay, so it didn't roll over immediately. I still don't really trust it though. Hmm. Well, it lasted longer than I thought it would. I genuinely thought this was going to immediately sell off. Looks like it had one, potentially two dead cat bounces before it hit the bottom. But yeah, this gapping up here was the biggest tell. This gapped up with no volume. Very common for rug pulls. Combined with the lack of a news catalyst. I mean, there was just no reason for this thing to hold up. The only argument could have been a short squeeze play. But it just felt much more likely to be a rug pull. I'm actually kind of surprised it held up as long as it did. Very rough. Crazy thing is, from the highs up here, this is like a 40% drop in like 7 minutes. Honestly, nice recovery on this. But I mean, it's a nice recovery in a sea of blood. Yeah, LNAI looks like it's also struggling to hit highs. Yeah, this day has just been terrible. This is more in line with last week, because last week was very similar to this. I was really hoping we would see at least one or two big movers today. Oh, I see big. One or two 50, 60% movers today. Just to keep that momentum from yesterday. Barnes and Noble popping up. Give me a break. Yeah, but we're just like barcoding now. Like, LNAI doesn't even... What is the volume looking like just for LNAI in general here? I mean, volume is still somewhat elevated. We're getting like 100,000 a minute. Surprised it's barcoding so much. I mean, I know it's a higher float, but still. 100,000 and it's barcoding. $18 more minutes and I can finally get off. I'm just like wanting today to end at this point. I mean, we might get something at 9. I've lost a bit of faith though. Worth mentioning, VCIG did end up rolling over, so it just didn't do anything. Not surprised. People were tired of that stock. Hmm. This is so boring. uh, we got VNRX spiking, but it's a penny stock. Where did I spell VNRX? I didn't have the... Yeah. So this one's spiking. Does have news, but it's a penny stock. So I'm not interested. You're dying over here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm dying too. It's almost over though. I'm gonna be very sad if something pops up on the scanner at 9 o'clock. I trade it and I lose like $10 to put me red on the day. I'm gonna be very sad. Hmm. At least you got a cushion. Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, that makes me feel a little more comfortable. Like, I know going into it, if I have like a $10 loss, it's not going to hurt that much. Right? Even 15 or whatever. It's not enough for me to like push aggressive though. Like, if we're being honest, like $6 is like nothing. Like, compare that to yesterday, right? Where, nice little spike here. Compared to yesterday, where I had like a $40 cushion within the first 30 minutes. If we would have seen follow through yesterday, where we were having more stocks moving, I would have been willing to push a bit harder, try and make that into like an $80 winner or 100. But like with a $6 cushion, like what am I supposed to do with that? Like there's been no moves. There's nothing to even use the cushion on. And it's barely a cushion. You made one scratch trade for 3 cents a share. I mean, hey, that's 3 cents a share of cushion. Okay, you do 500 normally. Yeah, I'm surprised you just now sized down. Like, I mean, to me, this market's like a much colder one. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of like of the mindset where, like, you build up as you build that cushion. Like, very similar to Ross's style. That's one thing I really like about his style, is like, you build the cushion before you increase aggression. Really avoids that catastrophic loss. Made 2 cents a share on Ruby, only risking 1 cent though. Not bad. Risking 1 cent. What? I mean, what, you're just gonna get out immediately if like you didn't time the entry perfectly, or? Oh, this was that penny stock you were showing me earlier. Yeah. I mean, I guess if it's like an 18-cent stock, maybe 1 cent is actually that's actually a little more reasonable in that context. No, yeah. I mean, it's so hard to find any clean opportunity here. Like, even just not losing money or just losing very low amounts of money is still a win. The main thing is just with this cold market, just limiting that exposure is the key. Yeah, LNAI was very interesting to me. When we saw this rug pull earlier, I really thought this was done. Like, we were seeing it break the high, and then we kept seeing some topping tails appearing. Probably better to show it on the 1 minute. But on the 1 minute, we were seeing, like, because I bought in here, we kept seeing these topping tails where it was, like, going up 1-2 cents per pop. And I was just seeing this as maybe there was a seller here. And then when we did get it, we did get the flush. I'm like, okay, looks like there was a hidden seller. They sold hard once we broke. It's done. But then, like, it wasn't done, right? We just kind of have been consolidating ever since. Now, I'm actually genuinely unsure if this is done. I was convinced it was done here. A lot of my confidence has been restored because, like, we're still pushing near all-time high. So, yeah, my conviction is actually much higher seeing how this is held up. Now, I mean, it still has some problems, right? Higher outstanding shares, clear hidden seller. We don't know if they're fully out or not. But it's certainly much better than I expected. Yeah, 35 people watching. Let's go. I appreciate everyone here watching. I'll do one final shout out before we finish for the day. I do stream every day from 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. EST. If you're interested and you want to see me do this, you can maybe consider subscribing. I do stream every day, regardless of win or loss. So yeah, there's my shout out for the rest of this session. I do appreciate all you guys sticking around, though. In a hot market, like, I would appreciate it either way, but, like, sticking around in a cold market, especially, I mean, it makes me happy you guys are willing to be troopers like me and stick it out. I'm the only guy who did a thumbs up. Come on, people. I mean, we've got 23 thumbs up. To me, that's already crazy. I'm like, I already asked for thumbs up too. I'm happy with even just getting what we have. Like, I'm not about asking every 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I know some people do. Maybe like twice a stream. Like, if I ask for thumbs up, like maybe twice a stream and ask to subscribe twice a stream at the same time, I don't think that's terrible. I just don't want to overdo it. I think this chat and being a part of any good trading community helps a trader avoid bad trades, helps the board avoid boredom trading. Yeah, that's a big thing too. Like, if you're feeling FOMO, you look at me. You see, I only took one trade today. Let's just flip this around. Let's say normally you took 2 trades. Like, if you took 2 trades today, and normally you take like 15, and you're like, man, I'm feeling so bored, feeling the FOMO, I'm not making money, I just got to trade more. But if you look at me, I took 1 trade today. I'm only up $6. Like, I feel like that's very sobering for anybody who's feeling that itch to trade. You're saying, okay, this guy's not trading a lot either. I'm not alone in this feeling of boredom, of this feeling of not finding anything to trade. Oh, my screen only shows 1 thumbs up. An hour for fresh, yeah. Yep, trading sucks, to be honest. I love it, but it sucks. I mean, it's a love-hate relationship. You love it when it's hot, you hate it when it's cold. And I'll be honest, it builds discipline, right? When you're able to be here and you're able to be patient each day, it helps build that patience up. And it also gives you that context too, right? You're like, okay, this is what it's like when it's cold. I know what, therefore, it's like when it's hot. So I feel more conviction when pushing. Oh, there's no doubt. There are big days coming. Exactly. Yo, here be dragons. What's up? Good morning. Yeah, we're hoping for the 9 a.m. news. I'll be honest, most of my hopes dead at this point. I mean, if we get 9 a.m. news, then great. I'm totally accepting we won't get anything, and I'm basically ready to just walk at 9:05. Love your honesty. I mean, that's my key thing is just I'm tired of all the fake guru traders who pretend to know what they're doing. And I'm not saying I know everything. I'm certainly not the best trader out there. But I would like at least, I mean, historically the last 2 years I've been green on the year. So I would like to at least say that I know a little bit. But like, I'm also not really trying to push for any product or service. Like that's, something just doesn't sit with me, right? I said earlier about how selling a product whenever 90% of day traders fail or whatever it is, it's probably higher. Just selling a product where someone's going to lose money using my product, it just feels very, it doesn't sit right with me. Yeah, LNAI, very nice wedge pattern we have here. I'm very conflicted, right? You go to the daily, right? We're at all-time highs. So like, we've got all-time highs. We've got this nice wedge pattern. Very good volume. I believe there was a news catalyst too. Yeah, there was a news catalyst. So yeah, I mean, it looks good. Main two issues are higher float, and it looks like, at least initially, there was a hidden seller here. So there are some detractors as well. I did try trading it, made $6, didn't resolve the way I wanted it to. And I haven't, I said, if we could return to high on very high volume, I would be interested. We didn't get that. All right. Okay, we are at 9 a.m. We will see if we get anything that pops up. 5-minute timer starts now. SRPT. Okay, so it did have news, but volume's a bit low. Price is a little bit high. Very interesting price action on the yearly too. Right, this is moving a lot more. I mean, this news catalyst is fine. The lighter volume's a bit off-putting. What is the float on this? $100 million. Okay, that's not what we'd want to see. Yeah, volume's kind of light. Float's very high. Not quite the best setup. I'm just seeing nothing else. Give it another 2 minutes. See if we get anything that just takes a minute to pick up. Yeah, I think it'd be safer looking for a short if it pushes. Tough going long on low volume. Feels like it can slam at any second. Yeah. And it's a higher price too. We just got nothing. Yep, all right, I'm gonna call it here. It's 9:05. Nothing's coming up on the scanners for me. We got nothing. So, one trade, just one small half-size trade, turned into a $6 winner. I mean, it is what it is, you know. This was a bad day today. Unfortunate. I was really optimistic because of yesterday. We had those 250% runners. Yeah, that's all she wrote. But yep, that wraps it up. I'll go ahead and make the recap here, and I will be back tomorrow. Hopefully we see something better because, I mean, this was pretty terrible.